Hello, welcome to this video. This is the fourth video on ratio, as ratio lesson 4. Now we are talking about in this video ordering or comparison of ratio. What does that mean? Ordering of ratio involves comparing ratios to know which is smaller or bigger than the other, or arranging ratios in the order of magnitude, that is, arranging ratio in ascending order or in descending order. Then we have the following examples to solve that, to trace that. Number one is saying which of the ratios 1:2 and 2:4 is smaller. So we have two ratios here, and we are going to look at which one of them is smaller. We have 1:2 and we have 2:5. Which of this ratio is smaller? How do you do that? First of all, the first step to do is to convert this ratio to a fraction. That's we're going to have 1/2, and this is going to give us 2/5. Then find the LCM of these ratios. The LCM of 2 and 5 is 10. So 10 divided by this 2 is 5, and 5 times 1 is what? 5. And also here we have 10 divided by 5 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So at this point, you can see that this ratio here, this first ratio, which is 1:2, is having the value of 5. And this second ratio, 2.5, is having the value of 4. So which of these number is smaller? 4 is smaller. So since 4 is smaller than 5, that means, and 4 is related to this ratio, that means this ratio is a smaller ratio. The smaller is 2.5. So 2.5 is smaller than 1.2. This is how to compare or other ratio. Now we go to the next question here. Saying number 2 is saying which is the bigger ratio? Which is the bigger ratio? 3.4 or 1.6. So we have two ratio also here. That is 3.4, and we have in a 1.6. We're having 1:6 rather. So convert them to fraction, 3/4, and here give us 1/6. How do you do that now? Next is to find the LCM of this number. The LCM of 4 and 12. LCM of 4 and 6 rather is 12. 12 divided by this 4 is 3. Then 3 times 3 is 9. So here we have 9, and 12 divided by 6 is 2, and 2 times this one is actually 2. So now this ratio is having the value of 2, and this ratio is having the value of 9. So which is bigger? 9 is bigger than 2. That means this ratio, 3.4, is actually the bigger ratio. Then we go to the next number. Number 3 says, which of the following ratio is the smallest and biggest? So here we have 4 ratios, and they are asked us, and we are asked to find the smallest and the biggest of them. So number 1, let us write this ratio down. We have 4:10. Then we have a 1:2. Then we have 2:3, and then we have 3:5. Next thing to do is to convert them to fraction. Here we have 4/10. Here we have 1/2. Here we have 2/3, and here we have 3/5. Next thing is to find the LCM of the denominators of this fraction. The LCM of 10, 2, 3, and 5 is the number that can divide them all is 30. Now, 30 divided by 10 give us 3. 3 times 4 is 12. So here we have 12. Then next is 30 divided by 2 is 15. Then 15 times 1 is given us 15. Next is 30 divided by 3 is 10. Then 10 times 2 is 20. Then next is 30 divided by 5 is 6. And 6 times 3 is 18. So having done that, at this point we cannot identify which is the smallest and the biggest ratio now. Now here we have 4:10, and the value of this is 12. 4:10 giving us a value of 12. Of 1:2 is having the value of 15. Here we have 2:3 having the value of 20, and here we have 3:5 having the value of 18 rather. Then which of them is the smallest? The smallest ratio is what? Here we have 12, 15, 20, and 18. The smallest is 12. And that for 12 is equivalent to 4 ratio 10. So 4 ratio 10 is the smallest. And then the biggest ratio will be what? The biggest of these numbers is 20. And 20 is connected to what? 2 ratio 3. That means 2 ratio 3 is the biggest and 4 ratio 10 is the smallest ratio. Other examples follows. We have example 4. Example 4 is saying arrange this ratio in ascending and descending order. So we have 3 ratio here. Number 1 is 1 ratio 8, following by 2 ratio 5, and then we have 3 ratio 10. We are going to arrange them in ascending order, means from the smallest to the biggest, and then also in descending order, which is from the biggest to the smallest. First of all, let us express this ratio in fraction. This one gives us 1 over 8, this one gives us 2 over 5, and this gives us 3 over 10. Find the LCM. The LCM of 8, 5, and 10 is 40, because 40 can divide them without remainder. 40 divided by 8 is 5. Then 5 times 1 is 5. 40 divided by 5 is 8. Then 8 times 2 is 16. And then 40 divided by 10 is 4. And 4 times 3 is 12. Now, at this point, we can now see that 1.8 is having the value of 5. And the 2 ratio 5 is having the ratio of 16. And 3 ratio 10 is having the value of 12. So, ascending order first. Ascending order, we're going to have the smallest, that is from the smallest to the biggest. Smallest is 5, that is 1 ratio 8 is the smallest. Follow after 5 is 12, and that 12 is giving us 3 ratio 10, and the biggest is 16, which is 2 ratio 5. So this is the ascending order of that ratio. And then we also have to find, to arrange them in descending order, meaning from the biggest to the smallest. The biggest here is 16, which is 2 ratio 5. After 16 is 12, which is 3 ratio 10. And after 12 is 5, which is 1 ratio 8. So we have succeeded in arranging these ratios in ascending order and descending order. Then we also have one more question here that says, you say we should use less than, greater than, or equal to order the following ratios. The number 1 here is we have 2 ratio 5. Then is it less than this or bigger than this? So let us do that and see. 2 over 6, and this to give us 1 over 10. The LCM is going to be, LCM of 6 and 10 is actually going to be 30. So put on 30 here. 30 divided by 5 is 5. 30 divided by 6 rather is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. The 30 divided by 10 is 3, and 3 times 1 is 3. So we can see that this 10 is bigger than this 3. So that means that this ratio is bigger than this ratio. Also, we have 3 ratio 5. That is 3 ratio 5. That gives us 3 over 5. And here we have 1 over 4. Now, what we do now is find the LCM of 5 and 4. LCM of this is 20. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Also, 20 divided by 4 is 5, and 5 times 1 is 5. Which of these? Here we're having 12 for this ratio, and we're having 5 for this ratio. So which is bigger? 3.5 is bigger, because 12 is bigger than 5. That means 3.5 is bigger than 1. Sorry, 3 ratio 5 is greater than 1 ratio 4. So this is how to express to order or compare ratio, to know which one is bigger, smaller, greater, greatest, smallest, or arrange them in ascending or descending order. Thanks for watching this video. Join us in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for further video. Thank you.